Sheriff Joe Arpaio just introduced Donald Trump in Arizona at this rally. They're playing music right now, which is the only reason I'm talking. Stay tuned. As soon as it stops, I'll press record.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Whoa. I'll tell you what. We arrived, last night we went to Salt Lake City. It was beautiful. They are great people. And we had no problem whatsoever. We don't have problems. And the little problems we have are very minor. Nobody gets hurt. But you watch the media, it's like, oh, we don't have problems. And it's been amazing. But we were in Salt Lake City last night. We didn't have one peep out of the audience. They were so great. It was such an amazing group of people. So amazing. And then Joe actually said 15, probably 21, 22,000 people. We were over at Fountain Hills. And I have to tell you, so I heard there were going to be protesters. Oh, you have a protester down there? That's okay. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. All right, thank you, fellas. Good job. Thank you very much. We love our protesters, don't we? Don't we? So we were in the Phoenix area. It was incredible. 21,000 people. And I want to tell you, it was a love fest. Not a peep. Everybody loved it. They're getting a little television now. They're going to get a little television. They'll get a little television so their mom can say hello. It's unbelievable. You really ask yourself, what are they doing? What's the purpose, right? What's the purpose? We want to have a strong military, right? We want to take care of our vets. We want to do things. We want to have great jobs. We want to have a beautiful family and home. I mean, we want the same things, I think. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're having fun. They're sent in, to a certain extent, I hear, by Bernie, but he's gone now. And Hillary, she should be gone, but she'll probably be allowed to run, right? And no, she'll probably be allowed to run, and she shouldn't be allowed to run. So let me tell you a little story. Outside, right now, as big as this crowd is, right now we have 2,500 people, 2,005 that can't get in because there's a line that's formed, and it can only be single file, and it's so unfair to these people because a few protesters are making it so it's a very narrow passageway, and they said, should I wait or should I start? And I hated to start, I'll be honest with you, but, it was very interesting with Sheriff Joe. This morning, with 21,000 people, we heard there were protesters. It was going to be nasty. It was going to be... So they blocked the road. They chained themselves to the cars. There were about 50 of them. But listen to this. What Sheriff Joe did, he said, get up, get out. They didn't. They cut the chains. It took like 2 minutes. They cut the chains. They arrested 3 people, and everybody else left. Right? They left. I love our police, but we should do a little bit more of that. You'd have a lot less protesters. You'd have a lot less agitators. No, it was so incredible. We heard it was going to be a little bit rough, and nobody cared. It was going to be one of those things. As soon as they arrested 3 people, everyone gone. We said, what happened? And we had the most beautiful rally you've ever seen under the sun. That's why I'm dressed this way. Under the sun, and it was great. So I just want to tell you, Tuesday night was a big night. We won 5. We won 5. 5. And now I think we're up to 21 or 22 with the islands. We won the islands. We won Illinois. We won big Florida. Florida was once so big. Don't forget Marco, in all fairness, a very nice guy. He was the future of the Republican Party, and maybe he still is. Maybe he still is. But you know the expression, to be the future of the Republican Party, you have to go through Trump, right? Right? Got to go through Trump. And Florida, which is a great place, by the way, and I love Florida, but Florida, we won by 20 points. We won by 20. And we won Missouri, although they still haven't given us the final count. When I hear that, you know, Trump projected winner, then all of a sudden they pull it back. And Cruz has a guy that was really very important working for him in Missouri. And I'm trying to figure out why is it that Missouri hasn't given us the victory yet, even though we won. And I know politics so well, folks. I know it so well. So they hopefully, because the people of Missouri are fantastic, but Cruz has a guy that's from Missouri, and he's supposed to be important in Missouri, and you know what? We don't like that stuff. So hopefully we'll get our fair and really well-deserved victory in Missouri very, very soon. Now, so we're leading in the delegate count, and honestly, I think if we win, you've got to go vote on Tuesday. You've got to vote. Vote, vote. You got to vote on Tuesday. And we're going to win. I mean, the polls are showing great. Arizona's great. And I think we're going to do good. I think we're going to do pretty good, I must tell you, based on last night's response. I think we're going to do great in Utah. I think we're going to do great in Utah. I mean, Mitt Romney's made a total fool of himself. Did you ever see a guy like this? He had his shot. He had his shot. He didn't like it when I said he choked like a dog. He choked like a dog. And I said it. I said it. 4 years ago, I said we had a candidate who choked like a dog, and we're not going to have that. This one doesn't choke, folks. This one sinks that putt. He gets that hit. We all get that hit. We get that hit. So, you know, the Mormons, going back to Utah, but the Mormons love winners. They love winners. And I think we're going to do very well in Utah. And I can tell you, for Arizona, we are way up. But pretend we're even, because you have to go out and vote, okay? You have to go out and vote. So here's the story. First of all, I want to thank the governor. I want to thank Jeff. These are great people. And I want to thank Joe, Sheriff Joe, because you know what he just told me? First of all, I can't believe it. He said 1932. That gives us all a long time. How good is he when you think about it? How good is he? So right now, he said, I'm going to go out. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Where are they? I can't hear them. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about them. We want to do it with love. Remember, love. We want to love our protesters. All right, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get them out. Get them out of here. There's a disgusting guy, puts a Ku Klux Klan hat on. He thinks he's cute. He's a disgusting guy. That is a disgusting guy. Really disgusting. A big wheel. Big wheel. I tell you, folks, that's a disgrace. You know, they're taking away our First Amendment rights. They're troublemakers. They're no good. And we better be careful. We've got to take our country back, folks. We've got to take our country back. Very simple. USA, USA, USA. So anyway, the people are piling in. I just didn't want to keep you waiting any longer, and I wanted you to know what's going on. Think of it. 2,500 people standing outside, can't get in. They're being blocked by a few people, and it's disgraceful. I want to tell you, it's disgraceful. So they'll come in as we're talking, and they'll start, and we love those people out there. We love them. We love them. Let me tell you, folks, illegal immigration is going to stop. It's dangerous. It's terrible. We either have a border or we don't. And if we don't have a border, we don't have a country. Remember that. We don't have a country. It's tremendous crime. It's tremendously bad for jobs and our economic development. And you know what? People are going to come into our country, and we want them to come into our country, but they're going to come into our country legally. 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 And we are going to build a wall, a real wall, a major wall. We are going to build a wall. And are you ready? Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%. 100%. Mexico is going to pay for the wall. You know, right now, we have a trade deficit with Mexico of $58 billion a year. The wall is going to cost $10 billion to build. Really easy. When I say they're going to pay, that's going to be really easy, folks. Really easy, okay? These politicians like Cruz, they come up. Last couple of weeks ago, for the first time, I heard him say, we're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. I said, where did that come from? Where did that come from? You know, a while ago, before I started, they weren't going to do anything. Now, illegal immigration is at the forefront. We're going to straighten it out, and we're going to have people come into our country, and we're going to love those people, but they're coming in legally. Okay, ready? Ready? And by the way, you watch. It'll all take place. I get elected, it's going to all take place. If I get elected also, people don't understand this. We're going to have a unified country. We have a country that is so divided now it's disgraceful. We are going to have a country that's unified, not like it is now. Now, I want to read you a little something from the great Al Wilson, and he wrote it a long time ago. I'll wait till we get these people out from behind me. But I think it really says something. Go ahead. Isn't this more fun to going to one of those rallies where 39 people show up? Isn't this great? Isn't this great? And I've got a long time. You know, I've got all night. You know why? I want those 2,500 people to get in here. They're being blocked, but they're coming in one by one. They're coming in. And we love them. We love them. They're taking a little abuse, and we don't want people taking abuse. So here's the story. All right, get him out of here, please. Get him out. Get him out. See that? They're throwing the American flag. If they had a match, they'd burn the American flag. They don't care about us. They don't care about this country. These are not good people, folks. These are not good. They're throwing the flag all over the place. They think it's cute. The other guy's wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit. He thinks it's wonderful. These are bad people, I'm telling you. And they're not really protesters, they're agitators. And if Sheriff Joe was here, they'd be in jail already. I want to tell you that. They'd be in jail a long time ago. You really say, what are they doing? But they're here representing Hillary Clinton because, frankly, the last person she wants to run against is Donald Trump. Believe me, folks. Believe me. Believe me. I hate to have them arrested. You know, we have this hall. This is our hall. And we could have them arrested. Really, they're trespassing. You do that, you ruin their lives. Who wants to do it, right? Who wants to do it? You ruin their lives. But get them out. Such filthy language, right? If we use that language, it would be like all over the world. All over the world. Oh, it's a shame. All right, you ready? So this is something written by Al Wilson in the 1950s. And think of this when we think of ISIS. Think of it when we think of people coming into our country who we don't know who they are. Just think of it, because I think it's really pretty amazing. And it's called The Snake. Ready? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the broken snake. A snake, a snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she loved had totally been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the broken snake. Now remember, this is terrorism. This is what's happening. This is our country. Remember what I'm saying. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you simply would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, the snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "And you've bitten me, but why?" "I saved you, darling, I saved you." "You've bitten me, but why?" "You know your bite is poisonous. And now, I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." Right? And that's what we're doing to our country, folks, believe me. That's what we're doing to our country. We have to be vigilant. We have to be strong. We have to be smart. And we have to be respected. All over the world, they don't respect us anymore. Our military is depleted. Everything is depleted. Our veterans aren't taken care of. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to rebuild our military. Nobody is going to mess with this country. Nobody. So when I started this quest, and believe me, it takes guts to run for president. I've always heard if you're a successful person, you can't run for president. And I said, I don't know. I'm looking at it. And by the way, we've done pretty well. We're leading every single poll. Every single poll. Remember when these characters in the back, they said, Donald Trump has just hit 11. He's plateaued. Nobody's going to vote beyond that. Then the next week we hit 16. Then we hit 19. Then we hit 24. Then we hit 32. Well, now we're hitting 53. Now we're in the 40s and the 50s. Remember this, when they were saying that, I had 17 people. We had 17 people. So when we're at 24 with 17 people, that's like, what is that, 75 or 80 or something? So now we're down to 2 left for me, 2 left. I call them the leftovers, right? 2 left. We have 2 people left. You have Lion Ted Cruz. He's a liar. Lion. He's a liar. Lion Ted Cruz. He holds that Bible high. That's why the Mormons are not going to give Ted Cruz a victory. Because the Mormons like people that don't lie. You have Lion Ted Cruz. He holds that Bible high. He puts it down, and then he lies. Now, he wasn't born in our country. He lived in Canada for 4 years. He was a Canadian citizen 18 months ago, and he was a U.S. citizen, and he ran from Texas, and he said, oh, I didn't know I was a Canadian citizen. And he didn't know that he had loans with Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, and he didn't report the loans, and he should have, because he comes out against the banks, and he's borrowing from the banks. So what does that tell you? It tells you he's a liar, okay? He's a liar. He really is. So I say Salt Lake City and the Mormons will not vote for him, and I may be wrong, but they don't like liars, and I can guarantee you, in Arizona, we don't like liars, okay? I guarantee you. So Ted and Kasich, I don't think Kasich's a factor here, but we'll say it anyway. They're bad on immigration, very weak. They're bad on a lot of things. Kasich approved NAFTA. NAFTA is the group that took your business away. That was one of the worst trade deals ever. Kasich approved it. Right now, Kasich and Cruz are voting for TPP, which is going to be worse than NAFTA. So here's the story, folks. I will do a great job. I will work for you. I'm self-funding my campaign. It's being self-funded. I'm not taking hundreds of millions of dollars from all of these guys, and once you take the money, they own you. They own you 100%. I'm working for you, and I'm working for you. I'm working for you, folks. And I did this. You know, I didn't need this. I say, sometimes I say, what am I doing? What am I doing? But you know what? The country has been so good to me. It's been great. My business is phenomenal. I put in papers almost 100 pages long. One of the great private businesses in the country. Oh, and they would have loved it if it wasn't. Would they have had a field day? One of the great, great private businesses, some of the greatest assets in the world. Very low debt, great cash flow, and I say it only for one reason. That's the mentality we need in this country, at least for a while. We got to have it. We've got to straighten out our country. We owe $19 trillion in debt. The $19 trillion is going up to $21 trillion. We've got to straighten it out. Trade with China, trade with Japan, trade with Vietnam and India and Mexico. We lose everywhere. I have the greatest business people in the world. They've endorsed me. Carl Icahn, you know. Many of the great business leaders, they are the greatest business people in the world. They will negotiate our deals, folks. No more political hacks that don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. We're getting rid of the political hacks. We're going to have the greatest negotiators in the world, people that studied religiously the art of the deal, right? That's what we have. We won't have an Iran deal where Iran gets $150 billion and we get nothing. We get nothing. We get nothing. So that's not going to happen. By the way, there's a deal, just speaking of deals, one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen negotiated. We should have had our prisoners out long before we went any further. We shouldn't have started the negotiation. And if they didn't release our prisoners, we should have doubled up the sanctions. They would have been out immediately. Phase 2, we should have never, ever in a million years given them the $150 billion. You don't do it. So that deal is done. We are going to scrutinize that deal. I will do numbers on that deal. You will be so proud of me, folks. We will do numbers on that deal like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. So we're going to negotiate new and great trade deals. We are going to negotiate deals all over. Everything we do, you know, look, I say it all the time. We don't win anymore. Everything we do, we lose at. Deals, trade, military, we can't beat ISIS. We will knock the hell out of ISIS. We have to. We have to. We will knock the hell out of ISIS. Believe me. And then we're going to get back to rebuilding our country, which is falling apart. We've spent so much money in the Middle East. We have nothing to show for it. We're in worse shape now than we were 15 years ago in the Middle East. And we've spent probably $4 billion, $4 trillion, maybe more than that. We have nothing to show for it. We have to get back to rebuilding our country. And we want airports. We want great roads. We want trains that go 300 miles an hour like China has. We want infrastructure. We want our hospitals to be great. We want a country that works again. Our country is not working. And you know what? We want jobs. We want our jobs back. We want our jobs back. I want Apple to build their products in the United States, not in China. So this all began on June 16th, and I came down the escalator with my wife, and I said, we have to do it. Not that I wanted to, we have to do it. Because just too many things are going. We're going to lose our country pretty soon. This stuff keeps going. We're going to lose our country. And it started off with trade and borders. That was my first thing. Remember, I talked about illegal immigration. And because I did that, it's become a big subject, and now everyone realizes I'm right. You had the killing of Kate in San Francisco, the killing of Jamil, whose father's become a great friend of mine. A young, incredible guy shot 3 times in the face by somebody that wasn't supposed to be here, who was here illegally. The killing of the veteran, a female, a woman, 65 years old, raped, sodomized, and killed, and thousands of others. And it's not going to happen anymore, okay? And by the way, we're getting rid of these ridiculous sanctuary cities, which are disgraceful. You know what the word sanctuary is? That's a place where they harbor. They go for safety. They go for security. Criminals go to these sanctuary cities, and you practically can't do anything about it. It's over for sanctuary cities, folks. Over. So what we're going to do is very simple. We're going to have great trade deals. We're going to start chopping away, and it's going to go fast. We're going to renegotiate trade. When a country like Saudi Arabia, no problems. I have a lot of friends from Saudi Arabia, one of the richest places, probably the richest place there is. Before the oil crash, they were making $1 billion a day, and we were paying for our military. We're defending them. It's going to all change, folks. Now they're making half as much. It's going to all change. They want us to protect us. We'd love to protect you. You got to help us out. Believe me, they'll help us out like you won't believe. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us. Countries like South Korea, I order thousands and thousands of television sets a year. They come from South Korea. I'd like to order them from here. They don't make them in the United States. Remember Sylvania, General Electric, they don't make them here anymore. So here's the story. Every time North Korea, he raises his head, we immediately send our ships, send our planes, millions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars. We protect South Korea. We get nothing. Practically, we get nothing by comparison. So here's the story. People want our protection. I think that's great. We want to help people, but we have to be reimbursed. Do we agree? We have to be smart. We have to be smart. When a country like Saudi Arabia is making $1 billion a day and we're keeping them alive, we have to be protected. We have to be reimbursed. And we're going to be. And by the way, it's a very, very easy negotiation. So we protect Germany. I'm sure they'll help us out. We protect Japan. Nobody even knows this. I'm sure they'll help us out. And you know the funny thing? I'll end up having a better relationship with these countries than we have right now, and every single one of them is ripping us off, okay? Every single one is ripping us off. So the greatest of all is China, what they're doing to us in trade. And you know, when Jeb Bush, when I was fighting him, don't forget, 17 people, I've gotten rid of 15, and now we're down to just the final two. Final two. Isn't that nice? And my wife and my daughter say, please, darling, please, please. My daughter Ivanka, did anyone hear of Ivanka? She's great. So my daughter Ivanka, my wife Melania, they say, please now act a little more presidential. I said, I can't until I finish my victory. I'll act presidential. But we've got to have victory. We don't want to be a Mitt Romney stiff. He was a stiff. He didn't fight. Something happened to him. That last month he disappeared. What happened to him? Say what you want about Obama. Obama went on Jay Leno. He went on David Letterman. He went all over the place. He was on television. I'd call up Romney's people. I say, you got to get this guy out. Oh, no, I think we're doing very well. You're not doing well. I can feel it. I got something where I can feel it. You're losing. Well, I think we're doing well. You're doing bad. Then he had the second debate was bad. The third debate was a disaster. He made a fool out of everyone here, and he lost an election that should have been won. That's not going to happen with me, folks. Not going to happen. Just remember this. I backed John McCain, and he lost. I backed Mitt Romney, and he lost. And I said, you know what? This time I'm doing it myself. That's it. That's it. So here's the story. We lose all the time. We're laughed at all over the world. Even my friends. I have many friends from China. You know, I love China. I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. The problem is their leaders are too smart for us. Look at that sign. Latinos support Trump. I love you. I love you. I want that sign. Can you get me that sign? Get me that sign. I love you. I love her. Can I bring her up here? I just want to. Let me have that sign. Oh, look at that. Latinos! I love you, darling. Come on over here. Get her up here. And that's not one of those Bernie signs that's made by a printing press where they hand it to the protesters, right? That's not one of those. Oh, another beautiful, beautiful. Look at all the Latinos. Thank you, darling. I love that. That means so much to me. Come on, bring her up. Let's I love her. I've fallen in love. Melania, I've fallen in love with her. Where do you come from? Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll do a great job, believe me. She wanted to jump. I said, no, take the stair. She did so well, I don't want her falling. That's why, you know, when I walk into like an arena, we have thousands and thousands of people, and I'm always very slow with the stairs, very slow, nothing to prove. The worst thing, can you imagine if I fell on the stairs coming up? I would be dead. It wouldn't matter what I said. It wouldn't matter how good a speech I gave. Those guys, I'd be on the front page of every newspaper in the world. So, you know what I do? Nice and easy, right? You watch. I do that. Thank you, man. Thank you. So here's the story. We're going to get rid of Common Core. We're going to bring our education locally. Okay? Our education in this country is a mess. We're 30 out of 30 in the world. You have Norway, Denmark, Sweden, China, Japan. You have a lot of countries. And then in terms of cost, per pupil, we're number one in the world by far. Second doesn't even exist. So we're last on the list, but we're the most expensive. We spend more money per pupil than anybody else by far. We're going to change it, folks. We're going to change it. It's a system that's not working. We're going to change it. We're going to bring education to your great community. We're bringing it to Tucson. We're going to bring it to your communities. Number one, you're going to save money. Number two, you're going to see a huge improvement. So that's going to be that. We're getting rid of Obamacare, and we're replacing it with something so much better. So much better. Okay? It will be so much better, so much less expensive, and just better in every single way. It'll be portable. We'll have so many different things. And by the way, you'll have choice. You'll have lots of different choices. Obamacare is a disaster. And you look at your premiums. They're going up 35, 45, 55%. It's crazy. And the deductibles are now so high that unless you're close to death, and even then, you're not going to be able to use it, okay? So we're getting rid of Obamacare. We're going to protect our Second Amendment, okay? Protect our Second Amendment. And I tell the story, Paris has the toughest gun laws in the world, just about, the toughest in the world. And France generally. And you can't have a gun, impossible. So when these thugs go in, these horrible, horrible human beings, these disgusting human beings, they go in and they're shooting and shooting. They kill 130 people. Many people are gravely ill right now in the hospital. Many of them are going to die, but these are really seriously hurt people. And if we had a couple of the guys in this audience, or the women in this audience, with a little pistol strapped to their side, or a gun strapped to their ankle, so the bullets could be flying in the opposite direction, it would have been a much different situation. So here's the story. I feel so badly because the people are still coming in. I feel so badly for those people. I'd like to go see them and hug them and kiss them. I love these people. I feel so badly for these people. Can you imagine? They're being restricted from coming in, and then we're going to be known as the bad guys. We're going to be known as, oh, isn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible? It's a disgrace. I'll tell you what. It is a disgrace, and people don't talk about it. Last night I saw a couple of people, a couple of protesters from Salt Lake City. Why are you here? Why? They put a microphone in, trying to build them up. And they go, I don't know. I don't know. They didn't know why they were there, okay? Give me a break, okay? Give me a break. So here's the story. So I apologize to the people that are coming in. I just have to apologize. You know what I'll do? I'll come back, and you guys won't come, and we're going to let just them come. Is that okay? Right? But I'll come back. I'll be back. I'll be back here a lot anyway. I suspect over the years, maybe I'll be back a lot. Now, if I lose, maybe not so much, right? But if I win, I will remember the people of Tucson. I will remember the people of Arizona. I will remember the people of Arizona. So look, here's the story. Here's the story. We have a big, big movement going on. Time magazine on the cover all the time. It's a movement. They say, I don't know, they're saying it, not me. In the history of politics in this country, there has never been anything like what's happening here. I mean, forget this great group. And don't forget, we set this up like yesterday, and we have thousands of people outside trying to. We set this up yesterday. You know that if a guy like Cruz or Kasich came in, or Hillary came in, if you had 200 people, it would be a lot, right? It would be a lot. They'd be using a conference room in some hotel. So here's the story. Here's the story. Our country loses at everything. We lose with our military. We lose with our vets. Our vets are just going to be treated so good. That's one of the things I'm most looking forward to straightening out. We lose with education. We lose with Obamacare and health care. We lose with Obamacare. We lose on the border. We lose with no wall. Nothing, none of this stuff. Look, I know these politicians. They're all talk. They're no action. All talk, no action. It's never going to get done. So here's the story. Here's the story. And I say this, and I'll say it again and again. We are going to start winning again. We are going to win with our military, and we're going to kick ISIS. We are going to kick ISIS where it hurts. We are going to win with our military. We are going to win with our vets. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to win with health care. We are going to have great health care for a much smaller number. We are going to reduce your taxes substantially. Look at my tax plan. We're reducing your taxes. The middle class in this country is being decimated by taxes and by interest, which they never got because they save their money and they get no interest in the money they've been saving for 30 years. It's not right. So we're going to save taxes. We're going to make taxes so that businesses get back to work. We're going to take our jobs back from China, back from Mexico. We're going to take our jobs back. I'll give you one example. You read about Carrier Air Conditioning Company. They're moving to Mexico. I'm going to say it quickly because a lot of you have heard it before, and a lot of these stupid people, they say, I'm a conservative, by the way, but they say, he is not a conservative. Do you remember Jeb Bush? He is not a conservative. Who cares? Who cares? Number one, I'm a conservative, but who cares? We want to be smart. So they'd say, because I'm a free trade. Look, I believe in free trade. But to have free trade, we need smart people at the top that know how to negotiate. We don't have those people. We don't have those people. We've got people that don't have a clue. We've got people that shouldn't be there. They got there because they gave campaign contributions to these people that I negotiate with and these people that I'm against. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to change things so radically, but nicely, not rough, easy. I will get along better with China. I have a great relationship with China. I've made billions of dollars dealing with China. The Bank of America building in San Francisco, 1290 Avenue of the Americas, one of the biggest buildings in Manhattan, biggest floor plates in Manhattan. Sell condos by so many condos, tens of millions of dollars. I have the biggest bank in the world. It's from China, a tenant in one of my buildings, okay? We're going to do great with China. We're going to do great with Japan. They send their cars. We send them nothing. They send those cars. We send practically nothing. It's going to end. It's going to end. It's called imbalance. It's going to end. It's going to end. We can't take in millions of cars and we send them wheat. And they don't want the wheat. And they don't want our beef. They send it back. We don't want, look, it's going to end. It's going to end. It's going to be so nice. You know, they're a little concerned with me. They're saying, you know, a friend of mine called up from Japan. Another one called up from China. They said, you know, they're concerned with you because you're the only one that really understands what they've been doing. They understand, folks. They treat us like we're a bunch of babies. They treat us like we're little infants. It's over. So here's the story. We're going to win on trade. I'm going to tell Carrier, enjoy your beautiful new factory, enjoy your beautiful new plant in Mexico, but now we have a wall and we have a border, and every single air conditioning unit that you send across that border, you're going to pay a 35% tax on, okay? 35%. And you know, when our companies hear that, they're not moving. They're not going to move. They'll work. Maybe they'll build here. And you know what? If it's not Tucson, at least they're going to be building in our country, okay? At least they'll be building in our country. They're not leaving. And you know, I went to the best school, the Wharton School of Finance. And you don't have to go to Wharton to realize what we're doing now is no good. You know, we just lost Pfizer. Pfizer is one of the great pharmaceutical companies in the world. We just look, thousands and thousands of jobs. They're moving to Ireland. Take a look at Tyco. Take a look at Johnson Control, what just happened there. Massive companies are leaving. Then they'll make their product and they'll sell it into our country. And because we're free traders, we won't charge them any tax. Because we're free traders, because we're free stupid traders. I'm a free trader. I love free trade. But we have dumb people running our country. We can't do it right now. Maybe someday we'll be free traders. But right now, we have to keep our companies from leaving. We have to keep our companies from taking all these jobs and giving up all these jobs. So here's what's going to happen. I guarantee you, as sure as you're standing there, I guarantee you, Carrier will call and say, Mr. President, we're not leaving. They're not leaving anymore. And companies aren't going to leave if they know that's going to be the penalty. We can't be the stupid, stupid country anymore. We're not going to be. We're going to be the brilliant country. We're going to be a country that people respect again. So we're going to win with our military. We're going to beat ISIS quickly and very toughly. We're going to win. We're not going to let people chop off heads. That's medieval times, folks. I didn't want to go into Iraq, but you know what? We got there. We had a president that didn't know how to get out. He announced a date, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and he didn't know how to get out. Even the 50 troops, how about a few months ago? We are sending 50 troops to Iraq or to Syria. We are sending 50 troops. Let me ask you a question. These are our finest troops. These are our best. Why do you have to tell the enemy that they're coming over there? Now there's a target on their back. We have to be unpredictable. We can't be so damn predictable. Don't tell them we're sending 50 troops. Don't tell them. So here's what happens. Can you imagine that? You're one of those troops and you want to get over there. And frankly, you want to sneak over there and you want to do it quietly. And you're really at the highest level in the Marines and the Army and the Air Force and the Navy. But you're one of these great, really incredible troops. And you get a president saying we're sending 50 troops over there. And it doesn't even sound good because 50 is not exactly a scary number, right? But these are the elite. And now these 50 troops have a target on their back because we have a guy that wants to tell the world that we're sending 50 innocent, wonderful people over there. We have to be smart. We have to be smart. We have to think like General George Patton. We have to think like General MacArthur. We have to think here, here, here. So we're going to win with our military. We're going to win for our vets. We're going to win with education. We're going to win at the border, and we're building the wall, and Mexico's paying for the wall 100%. 100%. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win with the education. Got to win. We're going to win at every single level. And you're going to remember this evening, and you're going to remember this day. And you're going to say that Donald Trump was wonderful. He spoke right through some phony protesters that have very weak voices. Spoke right through them like they were nothing, like they were nothing. And that's after speaking to 21,000 in a different part of Arizona, because I didn't want to waste a lot of time. They have I love those weak voices. Sometimes I'll hear a voice, and I say, do me a favor, don't mention it. Let's just talk. The problem is when you guys all go, there they are, there they are. Be quiet, and we can speak right through. So we're going to win so much. And you're going to remember this day. And on Tuesday, more importantly, you're going to remember that vote. And you're going to say, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, you're going to say, that was the greatest vote I've ever cast. You're going to be proud of your president, and you're going to be proud of your country. I love you, Tucson. I love you, Arizona. Vote on Tuesday.